My original review is a little outdated. As some of you may know, I got my first ever 3D printer about 6 months ago, back in January of this year. After putting it together, I had to learn the basics of preparing and making 3D prints. So in my first review, I showed off some of my 3D prints, some issues I had at the time, and overall how my experience was with the 3D printer in the first month or so that I had it. If you want to see my original review of the Ender 3 Pro, click right up here. Looking back at this original review, I've corrected a lot of mistakes just through experience. Some of the things I bashed this 3D printer for were not really because of the printer, but because of my lack of knowledge. But that video did get something very correct, and that is because it was a beginner's review of a beginner 3D printer. What I mean by that is, unlike the really big 3D printing channels like Maker's Muse or 3D Printing Nerd, I don't care at all about the minute details. As long as it prints correctly and it doesn't break every 5 seconds, it's a good printer. I've never understood complaining about the really little details, like the print size not being quite big enough for your massive print, or the fan placement, or the printer being just a little bit too loud for your ears. I like to keep things simple in general, so I don't really stress over the details, especially if they're very nitpicky or really don't hurt the printer in any way. Keep this in mind during the rest of the video. I'm not bashing the channels I mentioned earlier because they do have much more experience with 3D printers than I do. Just know I don't review printers in the same way that they do. But with that being said, I know you guys clicked on this video for a review of the Ender 3 Pro, so let's just get into it. First, I would like to mention some of the mistakes I mentioned earlier in the video. One of the biggest problems I had early on when I was 3D printing was that almost everything I printed had a bunch of layer shifts just all up the print. And for some reason, I could not fix it. It just didn't seem like there was a reason for it to be happening. I tightened the belts, I resliced the files, I did everything I thought that I could to stop the layer shifting. Until I noticed something wrong within the slicer itself. If you look at the top of the slicer, it tells you some information about your printer that you have selected. Now, for me, obviously I chose Creality Ender 3 because that's the printer I have. What you can do is you can add printer, you can change whatever printer you want, but the reason that I had so many layer shifts was because I didn't have this as my default printer. I just had some random Ultimaker printer that had the same dimensions as mine. So in turn, it made my printer just not work because, well, the slicer settings were incorrect. So afterwards, I switched my Cura settings and it fixed all my layer shift problems. I didn't have to retighten belts, I didn't have to fix my printer in any way, it was all just in the slicer. It's really important to remember some of the little details, like what printer you have selected in your slicer, and of course, just don't be dumb. Check everything that needs to be checked instead of just ignoring something that could be a huge issue. Another issue I had early on is when I dented my original magnetic bed. This really was a simple fix. I just had to re-level my bed and, at the time, learn how to do it. If you want to see my video on how to level your 3D print bed, click right up here. So I re-leveled my bed, and then I also bought a new magnetic bed so I wouldn't have a massive dent in the middle that would mess up a bunch of my prints. So after replacing the magnetic bed and learning how to level my bed, my printer started working great. This issue really should have been solved sooner than it was, but for some reason, every time I looked up why my nozzle was too low and denting my bed, I didn't think about actually going and messing with the screws underneath my bed. Don't ask why, I don't know either. Now I know I've talked a lot about the issues I've had with my printer today, so I'm not going to go into any more of the issues that I've had more recently. Let's just go over the printer itself. The print size of this printer is 220mm by 220mm by 250mm. I'd say this is a pretty good but not amazing print volume. If you want to print really big, you're going to want a bigger printer than this, but for almost everybody this should be big enough. And if you want to print like pretty good size, you can still print huge on this, and it works just fine for printing small stuff. The one problem I've had with this build size is I wanted to print a wearable Mandalorian helmet, but sadly it's just a little bit too small. But for its price of $290 as of Amazon right now, I think the build volume is great, and I think it's a pretty good deal for your printer size, especially since it's also, along with being a fairly good sized printer, a high quality one. While the screen isn't a touch screen, it's still pretty easy to use. Push to select, and scroll to go up and down. If I want to heat up my printer, just go to Preheat PLA or ABS, whatever you choose. If I want to just heat up one part, like I just want to heat up the nozzle, you can go to Control, Temperature, Nozzle, and then adjust the temperature as necessary. The info screen has lots of nice stuff. It'll tell you the temperature of the bed, it'll tell you the temperature of the nozzle, it'll tell you how far along the printer is in its print, and it'll also tell you the coordinates of your nozzle. It's a really simple interface, and it's perfect for all you idiots out there who've never used a 3D printer before. Trust me, it's easy to learn. I can learn it, you can learn it, even if you are an idiot. Although there is one notable issue with this interface, especially for me. If you have a lot of prints on your SD card, whenever you scroll, even when it loads in, you notice that it lags bad. Like if I scroll down a bit, ew, man, that doesn't look good. It takes forever to load in all the files. But if you go into a folder, like this lithophane folder I have, it doesn't lag at all. Okay, it lags a little bit, but it doesn't lag that nearly as much. Some other things to note about this printer is how fast it can print at. I've seen boast that this printer can print at the speed of 200 millimeters per second, which, if you don't know, is very fast. But a couple weeks ago I tested it and, well, let's just say that might not be true. If you want to see my detailed discoveries about how fast you can print on the Ender 3 Pro, click up here to watch my video on it. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is print quality, since, well, that's really what matters whenever you buy a 3D printer. You want your prints to be nice, right? Overall, I'd say that the prints are really just pretty clean. Nothing crazy good, but they're certainly serviceable, and I think they turn out pretty nice, especially for me, who doesn't care about all the little details like I mentioned earlier. I printed simple, bigger objects like this dagger or this lightsaber. And I printed more detailed statues like this Baby Yoda or the statue of Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I printed objects that had a mix of both size and detail, mainly the T800 head, which I've shown off plenty of times in other videos, but here it is again. As you may be able to tell, there's still minor errors on all of these prints, but overall they turn out pretty nice. And to my standards, they're perfect. Exactly what I'm trying to do with my printer. To wrap up today's review, I'd like to give this printer a score. Last time I scored it a 7 out of 10, but I'd like to bump it up to a 9 out of 10. Its price point is pretty nice. It gets really good quality prints, especially if you're just starting out. And while you do have to tinker with it a lot to get it working really nicely, it's overall a great printer for a good price. Great for beginners, especially for people who just want to get into 3D printing or have never done it before, like me a few months ago. So that was our review. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers very soon, so if you would subscribe to our channel, that would be just awesome. I'd really appreciate it. Trying to hit 1,000 subs, and every sub counts. And with that being said, this is the end of my review. I hope you enjoyed. I'm Callum from CIR Inventions, and I'll see you in the next video.